And right now at 6, it's a major story we've been following all day. 2 Jacksonville City Council members indicted on fraud charges. Katrina Brown and Reggie Brown facing 38 federal counts of wire, bank, and mail fraud. Thank you for staying with us tonight at 6. I'm Anthony Austin.
And I'm Jeannie Blaylock. The council members appeared in federal court for the first time this afternoon in Jacksonville. We have live team coverage tonight. And let's start with Heather Crawford, who joins us live from outside the federal courthouse tonight. Heather?
Well, Jeannie, both Katrina Brown and Reginald Brown were free to walk out of this federal courthouse this evening, after facing some very serious federal felony charges. Now, they were both members of the Jacksonville City Council Finance Committee, but in lieu of this 61-page indictment that was unsealed today, they have been suspended from those committees. However, they are still serving on the Jacksonville City Council. Now, I want to note that both council members, despite having the same last name as Brown, they are not related. Now, this 38-count indictment was just unsealed today, but it was actually filed last week on May the 23rd. And these federal charges stem in part from a $2.6 million Small Business Administration loan obtained by Katrina Brown's family for a barbecue sauce plant here in Jacksonville. Now, this indictment alleges that back in 2013, Katrina Brown set up 2 fake companies with Reggie Brown specifically as a scheme to defraud the SBA, the Small Business Administration. Ann Schindler was in the courtroom with me this afternoon as they appeared before the judge, and Ann both sat quietly listening to the charges being spelled out against them, and both say they did nothing criminal.
That's right. They're both proclaiming their innocence at this point, although they haven't yet been required to formally plead. That will come in another couple of weeks when they also announce whether they're going to stick with their current legal team. But in the courtroom today, both of these defendants, cool and collected, composed. Neither of them spoke, but they seemed very calm, very unflappable, let their attorneys do the speaking for them. At the same time, very serious charges that both of them are facing. This 38-count indictment includes 37 counts of conspiracy and wire fraud against City Council member Katrina Brown and 34 against her colleague on the City Council, Reggie Brown. Now, if convicted, they face maximum penalties of several hundred years in prison, many, many millions of dollars in fines. But of course, it is unlikely that those sentences, if they were handed down, would be the maximum. But these are both of these council members intending to fight these charges and saying that they are innocent of what the allegations contend. Now, this indictment alleges it started in 2013. Katrina Brown set up this fake company with Reginald Brown. The judge today released both of them on the condition that they not travel outside the country. Reginald Brown actually surrendered his passport, and attorneys for Katrina Brown say they've been cooperating with the prosecution up until this point. But we are going to hear a little bit of sound here, I believe, from one of the attorneys in the case after court this afternoon.
Because she's innocent and she's doing a good job for City Council. So, you know, she's an elected public official and she was elected to do a job and she's going to keep doing it. That's completely separate from a business failure that now the government has mischaracterized, unfortunately, as a fraud.
Now, that's Curtis Fallgatter. He's the attorney for Katrina Brown, at least at the moment. He spoke at great length outside of the courthouse today. His client, however, did not speak. She's running for re-election. She's got a long road ahead of her, but he says that she's going to continue to fight. June 14th, we'll be back in court. And Heather, I believe that we're going to be covering that as well from the courthouse here?
Yeah, we sure will, of course. And you know, it's interesting to note that Curtis Fallgatter said that he was surprised by this indictment that was unsealed today. And I asked Reginald Brown if he too was surprised, and he said he was. And as Ann just mentioned, they both continue to serve on Jacksonville City Council. We are getting a lot of reaction to this indictment today, and continuing our live team coverage now is First Coast News' Hani Rodriguez. Hani?
Heather, that word we've been hearing all afternoon, surprise. And I got the opportunity to catch up with Councilman Garrett Dennis. He's telling me he found out about the indictment on the news. He also told me he is very surprised, but reminded me and wants to tell our viewers that right now is not the time to focus on that. Take a listen.
Of course, it was a surprise, you know, but again, we have to stay focused. You know, things happen. But we have to stay focused and make sure the citizens continue to get the services and we do the business for the city of Jacksonville.
sometime after that, I also had the chance to speak with Dallo Seabrooks. He is a city council candidate right now, and he told us that he wants Councilman Katrina Brown to resign, she says, so that she can focus on her legal issues. I am live for now at City Hall, and now continuing our coverage is Ken Amaro.
I'm here at the federal courthouse, and there are two words, here we go again, or three words, here we go again. Just a few months ago, we were here at the federal courthouse when elected Congresswoman Katrina Brown was tried. She was convicted and sentenced to prison. And today, again, two public officials here at the federal courthouse facing charges of alleged fraud. In City Hall today, when I walked through City Hall, there was a gasp. It was a total surprise. In fact, Mayor Lenny Curry, as well as the City Council President, today called it a sad day for Jacksonville. Now, the Katrina Brown project has been scrutinized by Councilman Matt Schellenberg. Today, I caught up with him. This is what he had to say about public trust.
And I'm really disappointed about Reggie Brown. Katrina Brown, I only knew her when she came on, but I'd heard about this issue when she got elected. And I think that we as elected officials should be above reproach. And this hurts our reputation when you're trying to get and trust the constituents.
And that's the question tonight. Can we trust our public officials? Even though what happened today should not be an indictment of every elected officials, it clearly feeds skepticism of our ability to trust elected officials, those we send to public office to be public servants, and then to violate the public trust. Now, even though these two individuals have not been convicted of anything, it surely raises questions about those that we elect in public office. And going forward, as we move into the election cycle, there'll be a lot of questions about, can we trust this guy? What is his character? This surprised everyone today, especially Councilman Reggie Brown being indicted. But again, public trust is coming into question on the heels of what happened earlier this year. Here we are again at the federal courthouse. The two will go to trial on August 6th. Let's go back to Heather.
Here we are again outside the federal courthouse. Ken Amaro, thank you very much. Now, the Governor Rick Scott, has the authority to remove Katrina Brown and Reginald Brown from the City Council. We reached out to the governor's office, and just moments ago we received a statement saying that these are very serious charges and that the governor is reviewing the case, but as of now, no action has been taken. We also got a statement this afternoon from Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry. I want to read part of it. In response to this indictment, the mayor says it is a disappointing day for the city of Jacksonville. Anytime public servants are accused of violating public trust, we are all impacted. And we have a lot more on this bombshell indictment of two Jacksonville City Council members online right now at firstcoastnews.com. And I'll have more live team coverage for you tonight at 7 o'clock on ABC 25. That is the latest from the federal courthouse. Jeannie and Anthony, back to you.